Hey there, Libra. How you doing? It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. The sun is just blazing in the window all of a sudden, so I hope it's not too dark. Um, so thank you for joining me. This is your reading for mid-January, a January check-in. So I did some scrying. Actually, this is so fun. In YouTube, I put in campfire and found a video that just shows a fire burning. Oh, I can't talk. And so I did fire scrying basically um, for your channeling, and it worked just like regular scrying for me, where I just get images and things in my head. But it was almost a little bit like a teacup. I did see some things in the fire that I will mention here. It actually didn't happen for the first group. It was more just image internally, but this time I was actually seeing things more in the fire. All right, Libra. So first of all, um, I wrote, I can't come up with the right words. I kept trying to write something out that was in my mind, and wrote a word, erased it. Wrote a word, erased it. I just couldn't come up with the right word. So I don't know if that's something you're struggling with. Then another thing that came, and I was trying to explain this, but I feel like that's a separate message. Um, this idea of childhood labels. I mean, if you get back together with your family, there are some patterns or some um, box that you're still in from your childhood, which is, sometimes it can be really toxic, but, most of the time it's all in jest and it's fun. But, sometimes they don't, those labels don't define you, okay? And allow and extend that same courtesy to others. So people change. You can't force someone to change, but people change for good or bad or just different. They just evolve. So you may meet someone from your past and either realize you never really knew them or that they have changed and you really connect or reconnect. I really don't see this as that they were in a romantic partner in the past, but I think it's definitely could go that way if you reconnect in the future. But it could just be um, some, whatever. You meet someone again, and you weren't really friends in high school, but you meet now and you really connect with this person. So it could be any of those types of things. But I think the important part really that stood out was you don't want people to always view you just in the box of their perception of when they knew you or whatever. Because it's still their story about you more than it is really about you. Um, to be careful, to also extend that again to others, that we're not keeping them in some box. But this came up in Sag bird watching, but I also saw Phoenix clearly in the flames, so I don't know if that has some symbolism. I mean, of course, the phoenix is sort of, I could see the phoenix coming out of in the wake of the tower, and so reinventing, reimaging, rebirth of some sort. In some area, you no longer need support, and the thought that I had was I grew up doing gymnastics when I was young, and um, you would have a spotter and you would get to a point where you didn't need the spotter anymore, but you wanted them there as security, kind of like training wheels. Or even with myself with the tarot, I used books for decades, and I finally had to get off the books and just have some confidence and do it and allow it, to take those training wheels off. I even drew it, and you'll see this is how horrible a drawer I am. I don't know if I can even get it on. First of all, I saw two people, but it almost looked like that person was trying to run the other way. But then I saw justice, the scales of justice, which is obviously Libra. Um, and then I saw a snake, and I didn't look it up, I'm sorry, but I believe has significance in lots of in the whole world, but for some reason, like Chinese symbolism, I don't know if there's a year of the snake though. I'm so sorry, I don't know, but if that means something to you, it will mean something to you. But then it disappeared and faded into the background. So it was like something, whatever that symbolism was, um, is not as prominent anymore. I also got meditation and escapism. Um, I also saw someone waving goodbye to someone. Excuse me. So someone leaving, someone moving. For a lot of people, it's just, people just move for whatever reason. It isn't, it's nothing to do with you. It's just people move. Kids grow up and leave the house. Um, People relocate to be near family, for a job, because they can't stand the weather. I mean, whatever. It doesn't, so it could be that. But I do think in their mind, there is an element of moving. I'm contradicting myself, but I'm reading what I wrote. Their perspective is that it's a fresh start, and there is some aspect that they're leaving behind. For most of you, not necessarily even related to you, moving on from you, but for a small amount, it could be, or you're the one moving on or distancing yourself. So there's something about creating distance. Somehow distance is going to be created between you and another. So whether that's physically or I don't know. Okay, so the last message I got in my fire scrying was, I guess I am a fire sign, makes sense. Ideas you would once blow off. All of a sudden you think, but if not now, when? Like, what am I waiting for? Will it truly be any different if I wait? Am I really going to have... I sometimes don't like to give examples because I don't want to limit. It's whatever comes to your mind, but why not take that vacation? Why not make the move? Why not buy that property? It's just something. You really sort of have the perspective of, what am I waiting for? Now I'm hearing that Van Halen song, Right Now. What's that song? Right here and now means everything. Right now, it means everything. Because, yeah. Okay, let's just move on. Sorry, I grew up in the 80s. Okay, the Emperor. Yeah. Look at this. I love this card. I love this artist. She has a really cool Instagram page to follow if you like any sort of fantasy art. I was going to say fan. I can't think of the word it would be, but so the Emperor is, I mean, he's a leader, but for me, this card is really turned into being the emperor of your own life. It doesn't mean you're selfish. It doesn't mean you only want things to go your way, but you're the one that has to live with the consequences of any choices and how you live your life. And you can't please everyone, and sort of releasing having to make sure that, just knowing that sometimes people might not be okay with it, and those reasons may have something to do with you, but it's also a lot of their perspective on you, which isn't necessarily you, and how they would feel about what you're doing, which again isn't you. So allowing yourself to, it's kind of being an adult. I'm still discovering what that might be like. Not everyone needs a vote in your life or needs to understand, and being okay with that is a real skill and a strength. Again, it's not a selfishness. It's living your life the way that it makes sense for you. This crow is talking in his ear. I'm sorry if the lighting sucks. The sun just came up. You may get messages, have some sort of intuition. Listen to that. Look at all the animals around him. Maybe you want to go on a retreat. Maybe you're going to plan to do some hiking or something, or take a trip, maybe a camping trip. All right, we have Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is, this card comes up when we're just going through the motions. We're busying ourselves. You may be trying to not think about something, not deal with something by being so busy you don't really have time to, or distracting yourself. It can also just be life. Life is busy. You're trying to juggle two different things, whatever that is. Work-life balance, you can see they're not balanced. One's down, one's up. There's a fox in the background. And a rooster, it looks like, in the weather vane. So the fox can be something sneaky. There's a fox here too. That's why that fox stood out to me, right? There is some element of something sneaking, or something missing something. You're missing something. So whatever I think this crow's whispering in your ear, there's something you're missing, you're unaware of, or you're not honoring your gut and listening to your gut. The Earth Mother, so the Empress. We have the Emperor and the Empress. Wow. So that's quite a power couple. The Empress, so the Emperor tends to, if the Emperor sees a child that has an affinity for drawing, they will sign them up for art classes, make sure they are trained properly. They'll probably give them all the tools. And okay, well, if you piano, you're going to practice piano every day and really lay things out, right? Set the course. So the Empress energy is right, the vessel, the receptive, the organic. She supports, she guides. If she sees a child that has an affinity for drawing, she will make the paper and the paints or whatever available for the child and support the child, but will never, if the child goes towards that, great. If not, she doesn't force. She allows the person, the child, to discover and have their own journey, but is there. They're supporting and encouraging as needed. She's very fruitful. She's pregnant. She's giving birth to something new. So pregnancy comes up. That's just saying, right, great if you want it. If not, just take precautions. What's in here? We got ducks. I like her staff, or whatever it's called. It's just made out of a rod and some grain. Very fruitful. If you're thinking of a new project or starting something new is emerging in your life. Did that come up for you already? I get it. That may have been the other. I don't remember. Okay. Mother Earth. Three of Cups. So this could be, I mean, with the threes, there's always the possibility of a third party. And we do have this fox lurking around. But this, I really like this card. It's a very supportive card. It goes well. She could be one of these. She could be the mother of three girls. She could be, she could be a counselor. You have a couple different counselors here too. If you need advice, make sure you go to the counselor you need. But the person that maybe thinks they just want someone to tell them something may actually benefit more from this type of counsel and vice versa. Some people may need it, may need to just explore it and talk, and some people may need a fire lit under their ass and someone to call them out. The Three of Cups, going out for drinks with coworkers. We can't, if you can do that. I don't know where you are in the world. We certainly can't here. Sometimes connections are made, and it doesn't have to be, going to a bar. It could be some sort of event or meeting or anything. It's something where you could probably decline it. But something beneficial, I think, would come out of going to it or zooming into it or however things are happening where you are safely. That could actually, I don't know, you just hear an idea, you make a connection, something could lead to something down the road. What kind of bird is that? I can't tell. Okay, so that is all I'm getting for you guys. I hope you're having a great January, and take care. Bye.